Okay.
We're good. It says we're live.
Okay.
Let's reload this page and I'll just double check. I think we're good. Do.
We're live.
We're live. Yes, sir, Bubba.
Okay, so I'm going to share to the event. Or I guess I already did.
And do we want to go gallery view?
Oh, we do. Let's do it.
That would be great.
Hi, everybody. Give it a second before but we're excited. We're excited you're here. I'm excited. Christine's here.
Absolutely. Hi, Gango. So glad to be here with all of you. Really excited to be with you too, Catherine. Awesome.
All right, my friend. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna, just in case.
I know we've got a lot of peeps excited about the visit today in the chat. So let's see who else wants to hear this awesome conversation.
I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Stay tuned. Do not adjust your sets.
And if you're in Canada, you're definitely going to want to hear this. Actually, it applies to everybody, but we're talking about Canada today. So
yay.
Give me 1 second.
Cool.
Technology sometimes are really interesting.
I know. I've been on Facebook quite a bit today, and there's been lots of little pauses. It's like a bunch of planes landing at the same time, and we're getting rerouted.
Awesome. So let me. Okay.
Bunch of planes land. Sorry.
That's how I don't know how to do that. Okay, cool.
There we be. Awesome. Okay. Excellent. We got Tanya in the house. Diane, my mama's in the house. Joanna's here.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Welcome.
Cool. Well, let's get this party started. Thanks for being here, you guys. So I have this kooky, wild, wacky, amazing creature on here with me named Christine Chiona, who is also an Access Consciousness certified leader, lives in Swift Current, Canada, and we are really excited because the No Judgment Diet live events, right, are coming to Canada. And you know, I love, you know, I've really been looking, it's up in my world a lot, just looking at how I wouldn't be here without the tools of Access Consciousness, right? Like I was somebody who really struggled with self-esteem and depression and body image and weight issues. And like, you look at me and you're like, really, you? I'm like, oh yeah. $250,000 and almost ended in a psych ward and almost died and like all those things. And when I found Access Consciousness, I remember being at my very first taster, and the woman looked at me and she said, well, if you use the tools long enough, if you stand there, and I was like, whoa, what is this wacky conversation where this woman's speaking like a minute and she's so fucking happy I want to stab her. like what is wrong? Right? And so I've become that happy person that actually has no problems. And so I remember at this taster, she just looked at me and said, if you stay in Access long enough, your entire life will change, but you'll be able to change your relationship with your body. And I remember thinking, oh, you don't know my story. Yeah. You don't know my story. You don't know like the ways I have tortured and abused and self-destructed and hated myself. Like, and you wouldn't tell looking at me, right? But I was like, you don't know my freaking story. And I remember in my head being like, oh, like, so it was pretty remarkable. So it was probably about 2 years to the day of me beginning the tool, like using the tools of Access and integrating them into my life, where I woke up and I went, oh my God, I've totally changed my relationship with my body. oh my God, I didn't think that was possible. Oh my God, I don't have to judge myself. Like, and so I'm really excited about the no judgment diet coming to Swift Current, because there's a different conversation available with these tools that really do change people's lives. And I always say to people, like, if you can change the one thing you thought you'd never be able to change.
Yep. Amazing. And we're in our bodies all the time. Like, we're in it, but not in it. Like, it's like we carry this thing around us, but we're so separate from it. And there's so much judgment. I just find it quite amazing. Like, since, you know, doing some work with you and creating with you and just seeing how you ask questions and how you've helped me look at my own body, and not even on purpose. It's just like the questions that you has totally shifted. I'm like, wow, that was a thing. Weird. I don't even know that was a thing. And so then it's this capacity to know I can choose beyond it. Like, what if there was no body story? So yeah, I'm quite excited about of welcoming you and everyone who really is looking for something beyond the skin that they're in, or the skin they think they're in.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, and I'm reading the comments. So I love you guys on Facebook, and thank you so much for being here. Janet's like, I would have loved to have joined you in Swift Current, but I'm going. I didn't realize you lived does Janet live in Swift Current? That's awesome.
I don't think so, but close, and not, well, she'll be in Halifax then. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We're so glad you're here. And so I remember, like, you know, part of this is like, we're given these amazing, brilliant, beautiful bodies, but then no one tells us how to enjoy them. They tell us how to direct them, how to diet them, how to exercise them, how to demand with them. We're not taught to have this relationship with our body. And so, you know, I don't think it's a body issue problem. I think it's, you know, and I said this, I think yesterday on my Facebook Live, I said, you know, we're addicted to judgment. Judgment is the greatest addiction there is. And so instead of empowering us to have these incredible, nurturing, fabulous, fascinating, orgasmic relationships with our bodies, we're like, oh my God, should I eat carrots? Or I really, really, really want chocolate cake for lunch. No, you can't have chocolate cake for lunch because chocolate cake for lunch is going to make you fat. And then there's this addiction, and we go on this giant roller coaster. And, you know, some people watching this may or may not know my story. One of the things that totally, totally, totally changed my world is I had been an exercise and diet freak. Like, if it was out there and it promised that you would lose weight, I bought it. I bought like teas from China. Like, they came in these giant boxes, and I bought like weird shit if it promised to lose weight. And so I remember this one time I did the P90X workout, and I did it totally to the T. Like, woke up at 6 a.m. I did, like, you know, the exercises. I did, like, you know, what health drinks. I did the 4 ounces of lean protein. And over the course of the first 30 days of those 90 days, I gained 10 pounds. And I remember it was summertime, so I was wearing a lot of dresses. So I wasn't wearing jeans. So all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to try my skinny jeans. I'm looking good. I must be feeling, and I went to go put them on, and I was like, wait, what? And like, it wasn't muscle that I had like gotten bigger. You know, I'm just one of those body types that, like, I don't know, I just get bigger. So I had gotten bigger, and I was like, screw this. And I laid in a pile of clothes in my closet. I had tried on every pair of jeans I owned. I tried on pretty much my entire closet. 2 hours later, I am sobbing, I'm crying, I'm frustrated, I'm pissed off, I'm confused. I'm like, why isn't any of this like, I'm doing the work. I'm working really hard, and it's like the opposite effect. And so I remember just going, I give up. And the next day I kind of cried myself to sleep. The next day I was like, huh, this is really fascinating. If I did what the diet industry and the fitness industry told me exactly what to do, and then I would get exactly these results. How many of you have tried exactly what they tell you to do, and you're going to get exactly these results, and you don't get those results? It is frustrating. And so I remember the next day going, okay, what's my favorite freaking food? If I just like completely restricted what's my favorite frickin', oh, I love you, Joanna.
Yeah, she
Right?
says.
I had ice
Yeah,
cream
ice
and
cream.
cotton candy. I want ice cream and cotton candy. So I spent the next day looking at like, what's my favorite food that's so forbidden? When I eat it, I don't just eat like 3 bites. I eat like the whole freaking thing. And it
Mhm.
was ice cream. So I was the girl in my 20s and in my 30s who would go to the grocery store and I'd buy 1 pint of ice cream. I'd be like, oh, I think I'll just take 2 home because the flavors are so good. Right. And I'd take 2 home and I'd be like, oh, I'll just have a little bit. Next thing you know, both pints are completely gone. I'm like in fetal
Awesome.
position, feeling like absolute crap. And then I'm judging the crap out of myself. And then I'm wondering, how should I expose of 2 pints of ice cream?
Mhm.
And so what I decided to do after my 30-day no judgment or P90X fail, I went, I'm going to go on an ice cream diet for 30 days. And my rule for myself was I could eat up to a pint a day. So there's no restriction in that
Okay.
area.
Yes.
And I had to eat it before 3 o'clock. So by 3 o'clock, I was no longer allowed ice cream. And here's why. Because little cute Catherine and where she was in her corner of her emotional universe at the time in her life was anytime after 3 o'clock, if I ate foods that were, I want to call them binge trigger foods, right? Or foods that I was like, I would then go on a rampage of eating and get really depressed. So I just knew for my mental health, it would be better to allow myself ice cream before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The whole world would be healthier. No crazy rampages. And so at the end of those 30 days, I had lost the 10 pounds and I didn't really exercise much. I mean, I was running here and there, but I just went, it's not about the food.
Yeah. It's so energetic. I mean, I've chatted briefly with you a little about my body change. I've probably gained 20 pounds. I closed my business. My life changed. I had lots of points of view about it. Like it's an emotional weight that I have around my body now. And it's really interesting to not judge what's showing up and to know that I could choose something different. And I'm really excited because I don't know anyone who doesn't look at themselves in the mirror or not even have a mirror, but judge their body on some level or judge their life on some level. And that the tools that you have and the being that you be can really crack open some dynamic stuff for people. And we're in our bodies. Like this is the relationship I have with I'm in this relationship, my life. And so I can't wait to have even more joie de vivre in the vive of my body. In whatever ways I'm judging it. It might not be my body judgment, but I hold my life in this container. So yeah, I'm just very excited about the ice cream plan or the whatever works for people. Like how much fun can we have with the bodies and the life that we're in?
Yeah. Well, and you know what I've discovered, like I love exercise, but I love exercise if I'm outside in nature doing it. I don't love exercise if I go to the gym because there's a whole lot of judgments living in the gym. But I know for me that if I don't move my body at least once a day,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not as great for me simply because of how much I change and the movement contributes to future creations,
Yeah.
which, you know, when we take the weight out of it, but I love what you're saying, Christine, like you have gained 20 pounds and it's emotional weight. And I would say 99% of people that I like look at or talk to or that, you know, ask me questions or want more information, it's 99% of the time, it's an emotional weight based on the addiction to judgment. It's like,
Absolutely.
I just actually had this recently where I was like, oh my God, I I really want to like look lean and fit and sexy and all this stuff. And guess what happened the next day? And guess what? I was like, I want to eat everything. I want to eat cake and ice cream and cookies. And I want to like shove my face in chips and like, and it was like, wow, just that like thought from a place of judgment, not from a place of possibilities. I literally turned into this crazed judgment monster, and so it's interesting because people are always like, Katherine, we don't even know what you do at these live events. And I say to people like, well, obviously the tools are the events are based on the tools of access, because no judgment diet wouldn't exist without them. And we basically go on a 4.5-day adventure. I don't know where we go because every single person who shows up to that class creates that class. But we do have some systems in place where we do a taster for 2 hours the first night, which is an intro. So if people are like, I am so intrigued, I want more information, come to the taster. I have a massage table usually set up in the front of the room, and we talk about tools that will empower you to change your body, tools that will empower you to get out of your addiction to judgment, tools that will empower you to walk away going, oh, I'm not as screwed up as I think I am. And I don't, like, my body is not a problem to be solved, right?
Absolutely.
Your
Say that again. My body's not a problem to be solved.
Hashtag NJD, your body is not a problem to be solved. It never was. And so, it's interesting because how much time every moment of every day are we spending? Like, I'm curious, those of you that are live, you cute sweetnesses, how much time do you think you spend a day subtly judging you? You say, you go, oh my God, that shirt doesn't make me look good. That's a judgment, right? If you say, oh God, I can't eat that, that's a judgment. There's not a question in there. And it's like, okay, if you're like looking in the mirror and you're wearing a shirt that you don't feel good in, well, what shirt would make me feel sexy? What outfit would turn my body on? What outfit would make me money today? So we spend, the taster night kind of exploring these basic questions and sort of these tools that you can begin to use right away. And like, it's called a taster, but 2 hours live, it's a whole lot of amazing information. Aw, way too long. Oh, Carol, you're cute. You should come anyway. I'll run your bars, baby. We'll snuggle in bed. So, but that's the first part of it. The second part is a 1 day, and we're calling it the deep dive. And what the 1 day deep dive is really like, my point of view is everybody is aware of their bodies and everybody is aware of other people's bodies, but we're not taught that we're aware. So we go around like, and the deep dive is a 1 day class where you get to see how aware you actually are when you're in the presence of and with another body. And so for me growing up, I was, psychic intuitive, and an Irish Catholic family, wasn't allowed to be psychic intuitive. And my psychic intuitive gifts was I could see everything that was in people's bodies, right? I could see the good, the bad, the ugly, the crazy, the like, and so when I was little, my mom would come to me and be like I remember being 6 and my mom would be like, my shoulder hurts. And I'd be like, okay. And so I would go and she'd be like, can you touch? And I'd put my hands like on her lower back and her spine would go. And she'd look at me and be like, what the thank you, and walk away and not ask any questions, right? So, because like Irish Catholic, you don't believe in healing, you don't believe in past lifetimes, you don't believe in magic. You believe in God and the power of God, right? And that's how I was raised. And so, I in my adult life discovered that I had this insane capacity to contribute to people, to show them that their body is capable of healing itself.
Mhm.
Right. And so when we get on tables and play with another body, and Christine, you're like, well, I don't see things in people's bodies. You get to have the experience of, you have crazy magic capacities. Oh, thank you, Joanna. You get to see the like how you actually know that with a body that no one's ever taken the time to let you know. So you're like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. You mean I could tell that my boss was like crunchy and I thought it was about me, when actually his wife handed him divorce papers. So it doesn't have to be in a healing setting. This can be in a conversation with your boss. This can be in a conversation with your significant other. This can be, maybe you're at the grocery store and you were having a fantastic day and all of a sudden you start feeling crunchy. The deep dive will help you unlock your capacities with your body, which is so cool. So I know I'm kind of rambling, but I kind of want to give people this information.
Well, and people have been wondering, like, I know lots of people, the event in Swift Current is the first one of your incredible world tour, and people are excited. They're hearing about it. And whether it's across like in Geneva, wherever in the world you're going to be popping up, people are curious, and human beings are funny. We want to know, right? Like, what's going to happen? I'm excited. And there's something for me about how excited my body is about it, even though my head doesn't know what's happening. It's like my body knows this is going to be dynamic, joy-filled, cray-cray banane, and I can't wait to get there. Like, I think my body's already playing in the class.
Yeah. Well, and that, like you said it brilliantly, is like our heads want to know ahead of time. But if you look at life, do you know where you're going to be a year from now? Or do like what I've been playing with, delighting in the sensation of imagining the energy of my life a year from now. And so all you can do is ask your body, like, body, will this create a greater future if we choose it? Because logically, I was at, I work a few days a week doing body work, doing energy work with clients in Aspen. And there was someone that was asking me about how can I explain my work? And I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone who gets work from me goes, oh, no wonder why you can't explain it. Because it's not, it bypasses the linear logical brain. And, I'm an ex-psychologist, and part of what came out of the no judgment diet, using the tools of access, is I spent an entire year in grad school talking about the problems I thought I had with my body. And in that 1 year, I gained 15 pounds. I was I love you guys. You're so amazing. Oh, well, I'm going to be in London in June. I'm going to be in Geneva, Switzerland, which is why Carol's like, I'm not coming to Canada. She's coming to me.
She's a little far.
She's a little far. Well, I can't wait to come to Geneva in June, and London and Paris. But like today we're talking about Canada, and in that year-long master's program, we literally had to logic through our problems, through the body, but through our problems. I got more depressed. At the end of that year, I was suicidal. I gained 10 or 15 pounds. I was so freaking depressed. I hated my life. And I was like, what am I doing this for? And I looked at all of my peers, And I was like, I remember how happy we all came into that program. Like, we're going to change the world. We're going to contribute to people. We're going to help them with their body crazy psychosis. And every single one of us at the end of that year was depressed, had been through the ringer and back. It was like insane. And so when people go, well, what are you going to do in these live events? I'm like, it's not logical, because logic does not create the change that you crave, that you don't know you could be asking for.
Yeah. And there's a piece in there. I mean, that's brilliant, that logic doesn't create the change that you're asking for. For me, when you say what logic creates, it's judgment. And we're wanting to get out of it.
No judgment diet. Try marketing no judgment diet to people. It's like, wait, you want us to choose something that says no and judgment
and diet?
Like the three worst words you could.
Let me just start drinking now. Yes.
Hi, it's going to be really fun. I promise it'll change your life, because it's no, judgment, and diet. All three words that you've probably spent your life avoiding. And, you know, I laugh at that, and it's comical. No judgment diet was not like, it wasn't like a logical creation when it happened. It was like, you need to call it this. And I'm like, that sounds really awful. But for someone who had spent over $250,000 and literally every waking minute of every day obsessing, and you got like, I'm not a big person. I'm muscular, I'm strong, I'm fit, but I am not fat, right? And so this little cute, strong, beautiful being spent 20 years going, oh my God, they're judging my thighs. Oh my God, I think those jeans are too big on me. Oh my God, those jeans are way too tight. Oh my God, that person's staring at my butt. I really have a crush on them, but they're staring at my butt. And if they're staring at my butt, they're definitely not going to want to ask me on a date, because my butt is hideous. Like,
are you reading my brain?
That was the conversation in my head 24/7. And so when that sort of access facilitator looked at me all bubbly and happy and, oh my God, life is amazing, and oh, don't worry, if you do the tools of access long enough, you'll change anything. And I was like, oh, you don't know my story.
Yeah.
Because this insanity of 20 years of that 24/7 barrage. Oh, Suzanne, I love you. Today I asked for something from my body. 2 minutes later, my son came on a snow scooter asking me to go for a ride. I love it. That, my friends, is the power of when you invite your body out of judgment. You invite you into creating your future. And so, given it this really quick example, yesterday I was like, oh, I'm really craving chocolate. And there were these like skateboarders, because it's starting to get sunny and spring-like in Aspen. And there was these skateboarders, and they're skating, and this cute, like little 15, 16-year-old got like his hat on and a skateboard, and he's just standing there watching his friend skateboard. And he's taking a bite out of a big chunk of chocolate. And I just looked at him and I smiled, and he took the bite and he's like, do you want some? Like literally, like, and I was like, oh, thank you, but you know, I'm good. And I walked away. I was like, he heard my body. Yeah. He literally heard my body and was offering my body, and my body went, oh, thank you. And then that was enough. And then I bought a piece of chocolate like 10 minutes later, because I was walking outside and I stopped at a store. It's like those types of, it's like our bodies are communicating all the time. It's so amazing. Oh, adore you too, Roz. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. So should we talk about the 3-day? You guys want to know about?
Tell me, babe. After, you know, we've done the deep dive, we've hung out with you in an evening, and now what the heck is possible in a 3-day?
What the heck is possible? Okay, so next, what the heck is possible is the 3-day No Judgment Diet live events. And these live events come with a 3-day manual. We will be on massage beds half of the time. You can run bars, so access consciousness bars. There is no prerequisite to come to this class, right? None of the classes require prerequisite. So if you are like, oh my gosh, you guys are really exciting and there's so much energy, but I don't know what access consciousness is, Google it, accessconsciousness.com, and then come, because you don't need a prerequisite to come. The only prerequisite I say you need is you need a body and you need a willingness to want to have a different relationship with your body.
Yeah. Awesome. I
So
love the fact that there's no prereqs, because most of the time the world is all about prereqs, which is really, for me, more judgment that I'm not enough. Like, oh, wait a minute, I love this class. It's going to totally create for my life and living. And then it's like, shit, I can't take it because I don't have this, this, and this, but it's going to be awesome. Like, yeah, I love that it's wide open and that it's just bring your body. Brilliant.
Well, prereqs are good. I like prereqs. For certain classes, I think it's good. Right? But it's also this invitation where if you have a body and you've been judging your body, or you've tried 25 diets and you're still going after your next diet, the 3-day, we offer the manual, we offer tools, we offer clearings, we offer practical ways in which you can start to change your body. And, I think most people know my story, but the reason why I'm so obsessed with it is, spending 8 to 12 to 15 hours a day judging my body, I had no energy to create my life, but I didn't know it. And so when I finally went on this no judgment diet, in less than a year, my life looked extraordinarily different. I went from stay-at-home mom, nursing an infant, to starting a business when my son was 5 months old as an Access certified facilitator, right? And then in less than 10 months had traveled the world, made enough money to survive and then some, made enough money to pay for a lot of classes and travel the world, and also have my son and my husband come with me. And like, that was always a dream. And to make that happen in less than a year was like, wait, pinch me. And I realized it was because I no longer had the time or the space to judge me.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm excited about. And so these 3 days, they're, we basically go through, we get on tables. There are a couple body processes that will help you with your body, that will help with metabolism, that will help with a bunch of stuff you don't need to know in order to do it. You just need to say yes and show up and be willing. And, people that take the 4.5-day live classes, they walk out and go, oh my God, I had no idea this was possible. And I mean, the last time I was in Canada was in Edmonton, and, there were a ton of people that were brand new, and they walked away just going, oh my, and the tears of joy. Like, for me, that when you've spent your entire life thinking that you're not fixable, or thinking something's wrong with your body, or you have to walk out backwards after having sex with someone because you don't want them to see what your ass looks like naked. I have so many 40-something friends that literally talk about when they have sex, they will literally back out of the room forwards so that the guy that they're sleeping with doesn't have to see their ass. And I'm like, oh, and I get it. I've never done that, but I've always been like, oh God, don't look. don't look.
I'll leave quickly. Yeah. And we have some great comments here. Joanna says, watching you create that was amazing. And the energy of these classes with you are wow.
Oh, baby. I know, Joanna, I can't wait. I get to stay at her little abode. I'm so excited.
Place. Yeah.
So that's kind of like the logistics of what we do, but the nuances and the energy and the lifelong memory that you will take and look, like, it's an everyday practice. But 4.5 days of diving in and going, holy cow, because it's not just like, I've had people go, well, I don't have a lot of judgment about my body. And I was like, well, what do you judge? And they're like, oh, my business. Like, come. What do you judge? My family. Come. What do you judge? My parenting. Come. Right? Because what happens is we have our original judgment that we're so focused on the fact, like, for me, it was my body. So I'm just going to narrow in on the fact that I have this giant elephant in the room called my judgment of my body. Well, as I started to strip away the judgments that I had of my body, all of a sudden I saw all the other judgments I had about money, about sex, about relationships, about parenting, about business. And I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
everywhere.
And it may sound daunting. You guys might be like, that sounds overwhelming. I don't want to look at my judgments. What happens is you start to make friends with your future. And so the judgment doesn't stop you.
That's a meme. I'm
That's
gonna write that down.
what happens is you start to make friends with your future, that the judgments don't stop you. All kinds of judgments to let go of, says Joanna. Yeah. Carol, yay, haha. I want them to see my ass. Carol, I don't blame you because you have a phenomenal ass. I'll have it. Oh, I love it. You guys are amazing. How did I get so lucky?
Yeah.
Cool. So just, do you guys have any questions, anything we can answer for you on while we're here live? Anything you have about Swift Current and coming to Canada?
Yeah, Canada is ready to welcome
Ready for me?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to come, I'm happy to host Katherine, and we got some amazing people. A lot of peeps from Swift Current are watching this right now, so that's super awesome. And we're here to welcome you guys, like wherever you come from on the planet. Yeah, just drop me a line, let us know what your questions are, and we can make you feel like you're at home for sure.
And I think for those who choose to come to the 4.5 days and pay in full, don't we have something cool?
We do. Oh my God, this is so much fun. Okay, happy face, happy face, happy face. So for those of you who are like, oh my God, this is it, I'm coming, I'm gonna bring my body to this gig in Swift Current. If you sign up and pay by April 1st, then you get a gold ticket to our special private evening hanging out with Katherine on the evening of the first night of the 3-day. So that's going to be May 2nd. And we have a wonderful evening planned for you. It's a private affair called Cocktails of Consciousness. So you get a gold ticket to this fun event, and it's a private kind of one-on-one hanging out. So if you've always like, oh my God, how can I like hang out with her even more and like have some cocktails and yumminess and eat some treats? What'll I wear? Then you'll just pay in full and you'll get that. And we have a special venue for that event, separate from the main event space. So yeah, that's super fun. And Joanna, who's on this call with us, she lives in Swift as well. And yeah, private night with Katherine, OMG. And how much magnificence are we all going to be together on that little soiree of awesomeness? So Joanna's helping curate that, and that's always magnificent when her magic is in there. And the other thing, just for info, people don't know, if you sign up for the 3-day event, the NJD 3-day, you automatically get gifted the taster class and the deep dive as a gift. So it's pretty phenomenal. Like you get a 4.5-day gig for paying for the 3-day live, which is awesome. And if you're not sure and you want to just come for one and have a little taste and then realize, holy cow pie, I got to book more time off, then that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. So I love, Shannon says, you girls are so much fun. Thank you, Shannon. We appreciate you. It's so
totally.
well, and it's funny. So those of you that know, I live in Aspen, Colorado, and I pretty much like, instead of going to the gym for an hour, I go ski for an hour. Like that's my movement for the day. And then I work till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Last night I was working till almost midnight, like falling asleep, practically working. And I was on the gondola and I could not stop laughing. I was just like, I ran into a friend of mine, and he's also a healer and just a phenomenal being. And we just have so much energy together. And so I'm just laughing with him. And all of a sudden the whole gondola starts laughing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. They're like, no, we need your laughter. And it was like, laughter heals the planet. Joy heals the planet. And,
Absolutely.
when you don't have time or room to like indulge in your judgments, you have way more room for play and laughter. Because Canada, I'm a Midwestern girl. I wasn't born in Colorado, and we tend Canadians and Midwesterners tend to take their problems a little too seriously. We tend to take life a little too seriously sometimes. So I love how wacky and wild Christine is, because clearly she should be more serious about life.
You know, I'll tell you, I brought props for the call. This is my prop. It's like, how happy am I that this is happening? Come to Subcurrent.
Oh man, awesome. Joanna says that's what I love about your laugh. Well, Joanna, you make me laugh. Joanna and I actually spent time at a retreat in Mexico like 4 or 5 years ago, and oh my God, fire in your pants. I will never forget it. I remember that all the time, every time. I actually almost said it the other day in my head. It was like, fire in my pants. So anyway,
Awesome.
cool. So come to Canada. And if you're like, wow, Catherine, these live events are amazing. Just for those of you that may not live in Canada, if you go to the website, katherinemcintosh.com / live - events, I think we've put the link in there. Oh yeah.
And I've just dropped it in again.
That has 9 different places where No Judgment Diet will be in the world, translated in different languages. We have people all over the world, and that's what, like, just these tools.
Yeah.
So amazing.
It's phenomenal. Look at that. I don't think this is your lineup. This is it. This is your lineup.
Oh baby.
Like,
that's a sexy little flyer.
Yeah, we got you. You're up. You're popping around, Swift Current, babe.
I love it. Awesome. So if you want more information, please reach out personally to Christine. You're welcome to send an email to team@nojudgmentdiet.com. We get those emails. But I would say go to Christine Chiona on Facebook or send us a message, and we will be happy to give you whatever information. And if you have friends, bring your friends. My friends, this is a amazing retreat to do with people that care about, because then you don't have to be the only one that's happy in your world.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't have to be the only one laughing. And if they want,
I think my mom is coming. So like, look out. How much fun is that going to be?
Awesome. And Heather Lawson just said, and if they want to fly to Medicine Hat Airport, I can transport them to Swift. Look at you guys are
Yay. You know, the prairies, we got you handled, man. Like, we drive far for people. We'll just like get on our horse and we'll come get you at the airport.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Awesome. Well, my friends, thank you so much for your time and energy and joining us. And really, truly, you know, what else is possible with your body that you never considered? What else is possible with your future you never considered? And what if your body is a gift that is here to help create your future with you?
Absolutely.
Bam. Thank you, Christine, for being live. Thank you for hosting.
Yes.
I'm so excited to see what we've
happening.
And see you guys all soon.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in Saskatchewan. Bye.
Bye.